Did you figure out what happened?
Yeah. A couple of things got paid. But go ahead.
You know what? 510 Comcast Business Text Line. Perseverance and patience. 4 years is not a long time. And he's still relatively young for a head coach. It's not like he's had no success. Not everything in life is instant. I agree. Stop being so damn short-sighted. Y'all short-sighted. Y'all disrespect history. You're so, Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. Hey, give him a Super Bowl. Everybody gets a Super Bowl. No monkey on his back. Ain't no monkey on Kyle Shanahan's back. Andy Reid was in Philly 14 years.
And then he wasn't.
Yeah. So he's got 7. I got Kyle Shanahan with 7 more years.
I mean, you're selling.
There's nothing.
Andy Reid in Philly is not positive. He had to go somewhere else. He lost his job.
My point is,
Kyle
Shanahan is a great coach. Yeah. If the 49ers want to come off him for whatever reason, then it's on them.
Yeah, but you're misconstruing what people are saying.
What are they saying?
4 years has just been the success. He's been here longer than that. You keep saying like it's just a given that a Super Bowl is in his future.
No,
and
you
never
guys
know.
think that. Everybody
don't know. He might not get this. Might be his last one.
Maybe it is.
My point is cash in when you got 10-point leads.
No,
and you out here passing out scholarships. And you always, and I ain't mad at you because it's who you are. But, dude, quit running from pressure, man. This is athletics. It's sports. He's blown 2 10-point leads, and he should already had a Super Bowl. You can't be mad because other people look at it like that, but you come moseying along with no dog in the fight, thinking, you know what, of course he's a good coach. They're trying to get great. It's been 30 effing years since the Niners won, and he's had opportunity. Quit giving out passes, Steiny.
I'm not giving out passes.
Quit giving out passes because you ain't mentally invested. People are mentally invested. They want him to win. Just because you come moseying in here talking about, he'll get one. Don't get mad at other people because that's how serious it is for them. Quit acting like you're better than people.
No, I'm giving you perspective.
That's a fan.
I'm giving you perspective.
Win the damn game.
I'm giving you perspective.
Your perspective don't mean it's right.
Pete Carroll coached in the NFL for 7 years.
What about Andy Reid in Philly is Exhibit A on It's Not Promised, Steiny? He went somewhere else and got him. He went somewhere else and got him.
No. He got fired. He got fired.
Why did he get fired, Matt?
I don't know, but was he not a championship coach?
If you're going to give me, I don't know. I ain't got nothing. My point is, Steiny, you keep acting like he's just going to get a Super Bowl. You don't know what can happen.
No, you think 4 years is a small period of time.
He's been there longer than 4 years. Kyle!
Well, first 2 years they didn't make the playoffs.
Man. Has he had a chance to win a Super Bowl?
Bill Belichick, 6 years. Not everybody gets it right away. I'm just saying. Maybe it'll take Kyle Shanahan 15 years. But he'll get one, I'll bet you.
But it doesn't...
how long did it take Tom Landry to win his first Super Bowl?
He got that opportunity to get it. Steiny, I'm just frustrated because
I'm frustrated that you think 4 years is a long time.
Not winning the chip is no big deal. There's a price to pay.
No, 4 years is not a long price to pay. 4 years is not a long period of time.
Are you a good coach or are you a great coach?
4 years is not a long period of time.
That's the one that sets you apart. And he's yet to do it.
And I'm here to tell you I'm not making any judgment.
Here's some cheese and crackers.
4 years.
Here's some Skittles. Good job, Kyle. You got close multiple times. You had 10-point lead. Want some more cheese whiz, Kyle? Let me pat you on the head because you're so good, but you ain't won squat.
This is exactly what you said about Andy Reid. And you were dead wrong because you jumped to conclusions.
I was right
after
with his Philly tenure,
after too short a period of time.
He was in Philly forever and had multiple opportunities to win one. He got fired. With your way of thinking, he would never get fired because he got close all the time.
We're not at 14
years. It don't always work that way.
It's not.
That's all
Andy Reid
saying.
had 14 years in Philly before he got fired. Where are we with Kyle Shanahan? Hey, if you're ready to say he's got a big game problem, then you know what? If they lose to the Chiefs, put your money where your mouth is and fire him. I don't believe that.
He's not going to get fired.
I believe that 5 years is a very short period of time in the grand scheme of things when we're looking at a coach who's 45 years old. That's it. It doesn't mean It doesn't mean I want him to lose. Doesn't mean I want him to go 10 years without a Super Bowl. But I have perspective. There are a lot of coaches in the history of football that had to wait 5 years. They didn't get it done in 8 years. Then they finally broke through in year 10 or year 12. That's not unusual. And I'm not going to write off.
Right. How long did it take McVay?
Of course, you can find guys who have jumped in and won it.
Okay, my point is.
So fine, go ahead, Goo. Write him off.
I'm not
write him off.
You're
That's essentially what you're doing.
Because last block, you were like, is there a monkey? And then 15 minutes later, now there's no monkey. Say that from the beginning.
I don't think there's a monkey.
Right. So there's no pressure on Kyle to win this game Sunday because they're going up against Mahomes and Andy Reid in Steiny's world. Okay. I get it. That's fine.
Okay, is there pressure on Mahomes? Is there pressure on Reid? There's pressure on everybody.
Yeah, but not like Kyle and Brock Purdy pressure.
I disagree with that, Goo.
Okay, I got you.
I disagree.
And I respect that.
Like,
but I just hate that you
act
like there's nothing at stake for a 49er fan to say maybe Kyle he's a brilliant coach, but he has a problem getting it done in the big game.
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay.
I'm not ready to say that.
But when would that be?
I'm not now.
But for some it is. For some it is.
So we want to talk about that for 5 days before the Super Bowl.
We want to talk about 3
win?
straight years.
Well, what if they win? So we're going to talk about Kyle with a big monkey, can't get it done, can't get it done.
If he wins, it's over. And that's why I said Kyle needs to check that box.
Well, I'm not,
those words came out of my mouth.
If he needs to win one game.
No, it's a championship, Steiny, which is the one game.
If he needs to win Sunday's game to become this great this elite level, I'll be damned if I'm spending 6 days talking about a guy who can't get it done when they're a favorite in the Super Bowl. Let's see what happens.
But that almost goes against you should get it done. The fact that it's not a talent thing, people think your team is loaded and you can win it.
I think the game's a coin flip in my mind.
And you know what?
Game's a coin flip.
We're different. They were up 10 in the 2022 NFC Championship game. You don't care about that. They lost. He was at the helm. They could have brought that home. Okay? They lost the championship last year. I know the quarterback got injured. But Niner fans, they want the 6th, and they're not giving these lifelong, even though the Jed York has. And I'm not sitting there telling you I'll come in here Monday, and that's what I don't like about what you just said. I'm not telling you he should be fired. But for any fan, Steiny, that bleeds this team's colors, they want to just ask, well, damn, when is it going to happen? Because this dude and this team has gotten close many of time. I think that's fair.
Right, and I would say go look at the history of NFL coaches and find out when in their careers they won their first Super Bowl. And what you'll find is some guys get one early. Some guys get one in 5 years. Andy Reid, it took 17 years.
At a different locale.
You asked me. I have no issue with Kyle Shanahan. I don't think he's got a monkey on his back. I don't think he's got a big game problem. I think 4 years, which is what his track record's been, this is his 5th year in 7, I don't draw, we got a problem. I don't feel that way. I don't necessarily think they ever had the best team. I think teams come back and win games all the time in the NFL. If you want to say Shanahan's got a monkey on his back and of course he's got pressure, so does Andy Reid. But I'm telling you that in my 60 years of life, I've seen a lot of guys, and we talk, can't get it done. And you know what? Eventually they get it done. And I think Kyle Shanahan will eventually get it done. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's got a monkey on his back. I don't. And I don't think he's got, I do not think Kyle Shanahan has a big game problem. Do you?
I'll know more.
I'm asking you now.
There's something there, yes.
Okay.
Real quick, you asked me a question. I think he did a lot to dispel that against Green Bay, because that would have been a disaster. The first game, okay, 1 against the 7th seed, that would have been a disaster, okay? Hey, I give them credit. They came back, and they did the same thing against Detroit. My thing is, Steiny, Andy Reid is Exhibit A. I don't care if he had to go to another city and get another job to get it. My thing, tomorrow is not promised. So we can sit up here and talk, oh, he's got this and that, he's cool, but I think, personally, it's difficult for a coach to get that chip the longer it goes when you're in that situation to get it done, because then you're assuming that you're always going to be close, but things change, and then you can't even get to that plateau to get over the hump.
Well, he's been there this is his 5th year now.
Right.
So would you rather, Like, this is what I mean about Kyle Shanahan. We don't assess him. Who's been around for 5 years in the NFL? Just
McVay.
No, give me somebody who's. I guess my point is he's coached like 8 playoff games already. What? How many is Mike Vrabel? He's a real good coach. Well, he just got fired,
right?
And I don't know. Did he have a big game problem?
Well,
no, because they didn't go to the playoffs every year, did they?
But you know what? I'll give you that. But Steiny, I think you're lowering the standard when you say Mike Vrabel. This is a team that has 5 Super Bowl championships. There was a juncture, and this is not all Kyle's fault, to where every time they went, they won. It's been since 1994. And I think it's fair for a 49er fan to watch the great tenure that has been Kyle Shanahan, a whole lot of winning, but multiple NFC championship losses in games that you had leads, and the 2019 Super Bowl against these same 2 cats.
Right.
And I just look at it because I watched that game a million times. We wouldn't even be having this conversation had he punched the ticket then, and they didn't. But Steiny, that just doesn't, hey, you know what? We got there. It's all good. Sometimes it's about setting yourself apart and winning the big game.
Right, and I'm telling you right now, they're like, you don't get, like, you can't, 49er fans, you can't get it both ways. I'm sitting here saying the San Francisco 49ers are going to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, all right?
Yeah.
They've 5 straight years they've been knocking on the door.
Gotcha.
Do I think Kyle Shanahan has a big game? No. What if he loses it this year? Okay, he loses it this year, we'll talk about it, but I'm not going to fire him.
Right.
My point is, like, you can't sit here and say and nitpick the guy because you think 4 years. Then run him out of town. Go run Kyle out of town, because you can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, I think we got a big game. I think we got an issue with Kyle. He's got a monkey on his back and he can't win big games. Okay, well, if you truly believe that, you just going to let him coach for the next 6 years?
I'm just asking you, what would
because I don't believe
in the big game? It sounds like
come back next
he's
year
playing with house money. And from a contract standpoint, Kyle is.
Okay, nobody's saying it won't hurt. Nobody's saying it won't hurt. But if they lose the Chiefs 31-21, what's going to happen?
He'll be 0-2 in Super Bowl and 0-2 in the NFC Championship.
And they're coming back next year, and we're going to see if we can knock on the door again.
But if you're riding the BART train and you hear 2 Niner fans say, you know what, I don't know if our coach can get us over the hump. Is that valid?
But what's your alternative?
Again, it's not. It's to focus on the present. And the present is our coach. We couldn't win the Super Bowl when we were favored. Okay. We couldn't win the NFC Championship game when we were up 10. We couldn't win our first Super Bowl when we were up 10. If somebody wanted to have a conversation about the coach and his inability to close the door and bring up the Super Bowl where he was OC, which I won't do, all I'm asking you, Steiny, is that's fair. You seem like you want to throw a.
My point is,
everybody shut up. You can't even talk about that. But I think it's fair to talk about
5 years is not a long period of time. Just isn't.
One Super Bowl is too many to lose for me.
See, I look at it as though you want it both ways.
What's the other way?
You want okay. You're going into this game. Kyle's got a monkey on his back. Okay. Well, let's say they lose it.
I just told you.
Then run him out of town. You can't say, like, stand on it, Goo.
All right.
Like,
I'm smarter than that. I would hope you think. See, I know I'm smarter than that.
But that's what I mean,
No,
Goo.
because I've told you all year long. I've been consistent. I recognize this dude's brilliance. And there is a game that I feel like you got me reacting to a result that we don't know what's going to happen. And my compliment to Kyle was all that's left to me on his coaching metric, the box to check, is to win this big game. Now, if he doesn't win it, I wouldn't come in here because you're making it sound like I would say, dude, kick rocks. But my thing is, if people, and it's going to happen, articles are written, can Kyle win the big one? I think that's fair.
Okay, fair.
That don't mean you're not our coach.
Let's say they come. Okay, so we come in Monday. Kyle cost them. Lemon booty.
Yeah.
How did it happen? Lemon booty.
Gotcha.
Okay, Goo, what happened last night?
Gotcha.
Okay,
But
you know what?
Fire will not come out of my mouth.
Whoa. Hey, Goo, you know what?
What?
You might be onto something. Maybe Kyle can't win the big one.
Okay.
Maybe there's a difference between going there 5 years and 6 years.
We got a whole another season to find out, probably 2.
So we're going to have now we're going to have Kyle Shanahan continue to coach when everybody's saying he can't get it. Like, what I'm saying is, like, if you're saying right now you think you got a problem with Kyle Shanahan, a monkey, and he loses the Super Bowl in that kind of fashion, it's like, well, then just go ahead and say it. Fire him.
I'm not saying that because I don't believe that.
But you do believe it because you're saying he's got a monkey on his back.
To losing, Steiny. And
which is what? Tell me what it is.
And the loudness of you can't win the big one, which you seem to not care about.
No.
You've been around too long to know how this business works. And it's bigger than you and me. When guys consistently get close and can't finish, they're called chokers. Coaches too. Right. And I'm not saying he's there, but you go lose this one again when you're favored. My point is, you got to face the music.
5
you can turn the
years.
TV off. You can turn off the radio. But my point is, I'm okay with people saying, you know what, Steiny? I don't think Kyle might be able to win the big one. That's not too far-fetched. And I'm not, please don't make it sound like I'm saying he deserves to get fired. It's the price of doing business, and there's pressure not only on these players, these coaches. And if I look at Kyle Shanahan's record in the playoffs, I can tell you he should have been to multiple Super Bowls and already have a win. That's fair.
Well,
you don't agree with that.
That's your
And all that you're saying is your thought. Yeah, and your thought that you disagree with me.
And I'm telling
you, we're good.
Yeah,
you act like I'm coming from Mars with, like, chokers and pressure.
I'm sick of you writing a book on a guy after 5 years, and then 5 to 10 years later, everything about it's wrong.
What? The Andy Reid book was wrong?
Yes, the Andy Reid book was dead wrong.
Let's talk about the Philadelphia Andy Reid chapter.
It doesn't
I was
matter.
Right. Why?
Because he's a championship coach.
But it failed in Philly. The fans in Philly didn't get a championship from Andy Reid with one Super Bowl and 5 NFC championships.
But you were wrong about Andy Reid.
Not in Philly, I wasn't. Not in Philly, I wasn't. Are you going to tell me I was wrong about Philly? He got fired, Steiny, because they couldn't win it. The big one. Not regular season, the big one. So please tell me I'm right about Andy in Philly.
So was he a championship coach in Philly, but then he won? Like, what happened in Philly? Did he
lost and he got fired.
Lost. Okay.
He got close and it wasn't, but if his boss was Matt Steinmetz, he would still be there and they'd have a statue.
I wouldn't say
all
that.
You care about is getting close.
See, here's what you don't understand. You don't listen. He was there 14 years in Philly, not 7.
Which makes it more crazy that he got fired.
Why?
Because he was there so damn long and had multiple opportunities and cracks at it.
But don't you think they would have fired him after 7 years if they knew he never would have won it?